You are delaying the hard conversation because you don't know what to say. I have a 4 step model that helps you prepare for these tough conversations. And I have a 5 step process for identifying any bottlenecks that are preventing somebody from meeting your expectations. Step one of this 4 step preparation model is calibrating your attitude. So, there's a difference between wanting to actually help somebody and just wanting to fire them and you're just going through the process and whatever. I just want to get them off the team. Those two different attitudes will dictate how the rest of this process unfolds. Step number 2 is identify the strong versus weak behaviors. Ask yourself, how do I want to behave in this conversation? Meaning, do I want to be angry or do I want to be calm? Do I want to be shouting or do I want to be understanding? Do I want to win an argument or do I want to solve the problem? Figure out the type of behaviors that you feel like are going to help you get through this conversation effectively and efficiently and avoiding any sort of emotional turmoil along the way. Step 3 is identifying performance targets. So it's your goal to be able to create a dartboard with a bullseye to be able to illustrate to the employees so they know exactly what they're aiming for by the end of the conversation. A couple examples could be somebody keeps getting a lot of phone distractions on Netrodyne. So being very specific would be, I need you to stop touching your phone while the vehicle is in motion. Somebody could just keep showing up late for work. I need you to show up 10 minutes early to work. Somebody could be struggling on all of their routes and they're constantly requiring rescues. I need you to finish all of your routes within 10 hours with 0 rescues. And then the 4th step is to establish exactly what your goal is. So whenever this conversation's over, how do I want this person to respond? Do I want them to take ownership or do I want them to feel defeated? Do I want them to feel respected or do I want them to feel like I'm a tyrant? How do you, are they going to actually exhibit change or are they going to be discouraged and defeated and you've completely done the opposite? So being able to establish what that goal is going to help you weave through this conversation more efficiently. So the next step, once this is the preparation model, this all happens in your head, just step by step. It's a whole forecasting of the conversation. After that, you have to think, how do I even start the conversation? Sometimes it's one of the hardest parts is just starting the conversation. A couple things to remember before you start this conversation is make sure that you allow yourself enough time to be able to have this conversation. 15, 20, sometimes even 30 minutes is acceptable. Make sure that you are prepared for any excuses that somebody's going to throw your way. Anticipate worst case scenario. Is this person going to quit? I don't know. I could see it happening, so I need to go ahead and alert the opener to have a backup plan just in case this conversation goes sideways. And then don't overcomplicate the opening. An easy way to look at this opening is to be very direct and clear, meaning go ahead and just state your intent. My intent is, hey, it is my role to make sure that you are successful in your position with this company. And I've noticed that you continuously show up late for work. And then set the expectations, which is part of my 5 steps of identifying those bottlenecks. Number one is, do you know what I want you to do? I want you to show up on time. Do you know, step 2 is, do you know how to consistently show up on time? Step 3 is, do you know when you are classified as showing up on time? Step 4 is, do you even want to show up on time? Are you motivated or incentivized to show up on time? And then step 5 is figuring out that ability of, is it hard for you to show up on time or is it easy for you to show up on time? And so through that conversation, you're going to be able to be very clear about what the expectation is. I want you on time at 10 a.m. in the huddle, being very specific. Do you know how to do that? Do you know to leave your house early, 15 minutes early? Do you know to use Google Maps to anticipate any sort of traffic? Do you know how to show up to work consistently? So then, once you're through with those 5 steps, you're able to ask them, hey, is what I expect out of you fair? And then you want to get their buy in, and they would more than likely say, yes, this is fair. Ask them any questions of if they're not fully clear on the expectation, just see what their perspective is on on everything. Hey, is there anything? Do you have any thoughts on this? Is always a great way to have that open-ended question. Then you want to be able to conclude with saying, "Hey, in 2 weeks, when I follow up on this, what am I going to see that has changed?" Instead of asking insulting questions or talking to them like they're kids, that's a great open-ended question just so they can say, hey, I'm going to start showing up to work 10 minutes early based off of all of this feedback that I've gotten. I'm going to start showing up to work 10 minutes early. Great. That's an outcome. That is something that indicates change. So now you're not showing up late. You're showing up 10 minutes early. You're being more prompt. You're showing me that you care, etc., etc. So once you're done with this conversation, coaching conversation's over. It wasn't even that hard. Once you're done with it, you realize, oh, that was easy. Inspect what you expect. So, hey, I'm going to be 10 minutes early. So you need to inspect that. Look at the schedule, look at what days they're working, and be able to identify or be able to put yourself in a position to observe that, hey, they have arrived 10 minutes early. Maybe that just whether you're holding their van bag or you're just on at the door waiting for them, whatever it might be, just find ways to be able to be subtle. Don't just wait at the door. But you get the point. Find ways to make sure that you're inspecting what you expect out of them and then positive reinforcement. So then once you're seeing this behavior, you want to say, hey, good job. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, high five. Hey, fist bump, all of that. You want to create this positive reinforcement for them. So if you use this 4-step process and 5-step bottleneck procedure, you should be able to get through these conversations very well. Remember, make sure you have the right attitude. I want to help this person. Step number 2 is I want to behave this way. I'm going to be calm. I'm not going to be yelling. I'm not going to argue. I'm going to solve this person's problem. 3, performance targets. I need this person to show up on time. 4, the goal is for this person to feel respected and maintain trust in our relationship and also reach the outcomes that I have for them. When you're identifying the bottlenecks, it is, do you know what I want you to do? Do you know how to do it? And do you know how to do it consistently? Do you know when that I want you to do it? How do you even want to do it? Are you motivated? Are you not? Are you incentivized one way or the other? And what's the ability that this person's up against? Is it hard for them to do? Is it easy for them to do? You stick to this, you're going to have very productive conversations that you'll be able to weave through efficiently and effectively, and you'll be able to get the results that you're needing out of your team so that you can maintain high standards.